So a couple of these aren't like things that that totally piss me off, but
Yeah.
I just. All right, listen. So sometimes when you guys like go to commercials and stuff in the morning, you know, I do the flip around.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I punch out
around.
and see what everybody else see. You know, if anybody's playing a good song or whatever.
You know what you are? The average guy. That's what the average man will do.
I do not understand, and it does kind of piss me off, I think, that I hear MJ on Z1077, and I know that guy makes like 10 times more money than I do. And that guy is on like 50 flipping radio stations. Why? Somebody, please explain it to me why. I don't even have any other, like, really other thing to back this up other than I just hate the kind of radio that guy does. He's such a cheese D. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Would you like to know why?
Yeah.
Because he works for a company called Clear Channel. Clear Channel, and this is true, Z1077 has one live DJ all week, and that guy is that half a homo Kurt Copeland.
Not to mention their music is even pumped in from another city.
They don't even choose what songs to play in St. Louis. In St. Louis, it's done elsewhere. Clear Channel is such a cheap-ass company that they pipe in DJs from other places to say they're probably paying MJ maybe $20,000 or $25,000 because there's a guy who's on that news station, that 100.3 station. I know him. His name is Alan Cox. He's on that station, but he lives in Cleveland and works for the Clear Channel station WMMS there doing the afternoon show on a station that's nothing even like this station here, and he just voice tracks it. Ask me how much they pay him a year to do that.
How much?
$2,500 for the entire year.
Wow, man.
So he's not making anything for it.
Yeah, so they have a DJ over there who they're paying $2,500 a year. So it's not even about being good. It's finding the sucker who's dumb enough to do that. And that's how they get these stations. It's not that MJ's good. He's like in 9th place.
Dude, he may not be good, but he is live right now.
He is, huzzah.
It's just so cheesy, and like his cast of characters. They don't sound like real people.
Yeah, I mean, MJ's from Tampa. They pipe him in. Then they go to Ryan Seacrest, which is piped in from Los Angeles, followed by the one live DJ, and unfortunately the only one they have is the half a homo Kurt Copeland. And then at nighttime, it's piped in from New York City and a guy who's on their station Z100 out there. So it's not even live.
Man, it just drives me insane.
Or people who live here.
There's no wonder. There's no wonder why they're 9th. It's nonsense. The commercials where this is a different thing. The commercials where they like speak to you, where they're trying to be all hip and witty, and they speak to you in this real slow, monotone kind of way because they think that by them making a real hip, fun-sounding commercial that it's going to make me want to buy your product. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. All right, the more that you try to be hip and cool and try to make something funny, the more that I can sniff out that it's a whole bunch of crap and I'm not buying your stuff. So whoever the genius marketing execs are that are out there that are trying to make it sound like Zach Galifianakis in every single commercial, stop it because it's not funny and I'm not buying your phone. Also, I was at the Jimmy John's in Oakville. All right, I love that Jimmy John's, man. I'm always in and out of that joint.
Me too. I think we're there probably 5 days a week.
Dude, all the time.
Either for lunch or stopping in there for like a sandwich if we're running late on dinner or something.
Man, dude, real nice people that work on the inside there. Good sandwich and get out, right?
It's funny, you walk in there, at least the one in Oakville, I'm not sure if it's the same one, you get the same thing. It's like when Donnie walks in the studio, we're like, hey, Donnie! It's like everybody who works there is like, oh, hey, man, what's going on?
It's a little uncomfortable almost.
Like everybody cheers up and they start yelling. Like,
hey, want me to make you a sandwich? What do you want to eat?
Yeah.
Why don't you sit down? Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah. I'll just have the Vito and the BLT. Is that cool?
So I walk in there and I have my Ava with me and she's kind of crawling all over. So I'm really trying to get in and try to get out. And this lady in front of me is standing there like she cannot read English. Okay, and she says to this poor girl behind the counter, "Do you have anything like a sub sandwich?"
Jimmy John's.
And the poor girl looks back at her and then looks at me like,
help me.
Really?
They should have punched her in the face freakishly fast.
And then she says, "Do you have a sandwich with ham, turkey, and roast beef on it?" Yes, it's on the board right in front of your freaking face. I mean, literally, we are looking at the sandwich. It's like the number 12. Just look at the board. And then she says, I would have gone to Subway, but the traffic was too bad. First of all, big pet peeve when you work somewhere and somebody else comes in and drops like a competitor's name. I always think that's just kind of a D-bag thing to do. People used to do that to me at Slackers all the time with GameStop. Like when we wouldn't give them enough trade, they'd go, oh, well, I guess I'll just have to take this to GameStop. Go right on ahead and get $2 more in trade and see how much I care. But she says, but here's what she says. She says, I was going to go to Subway, but the traffic was too bad. Woody, you know that part of Telegraph. Yeah. Okay? Dude, that Subway is like not even a quarter of a mile from that Jimmy John's.
It's essentially right across the street, right next to the Shell station.
2 minutes you could take
if
a walk.
If
that, okay?
Oh, you could walk there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I guess that's just a dumb woman in Oakville, okay? And let me talk about 2 more dumb people in Oakville. They are the parents of this little kid that lives in my neighborhood. And I know I complained about somebody in my neighborhood last week about mowing their grass, which they still haven't done, by the way. But I do love my neighborhood, and I love my neighbors a lot. But there is this kid in the neighborhood, and he is like 5 years old, just turned 5, and he is a total, complete little D-bag. He's just awful. Starts fights, he cusses, he leaves his bike out in the street, he rides his bike out in the street. He's just not a good kid. But you know, I've seen this kid, and I see this kid 10 times every day. You know who I don't see? His dumbass, retarded, neglectful ass parents. I never ever see them, and I've seen this kid in the street like having cars have to give like the gentle honk to like get out of the way.
5 years old?
5 years old and just turned 5 is what Benjamin said.
Played in the street with no supervision.
I am so tired of parents not taking responsibility, man. Out of all the stuff that we've seen from kids over the course of the last few years, I'm getting kidnapped. I mean, this kid is so small, man. I mean, God forbid somebody could come and like snatch a man and nobody would know. And these parents, they are never, ever outside watching this kid. And whenever I see his mom, like taking him to the bus stop in the morning, bitch is always on her cell phone. Who you talking to at 8 o'clock in the morning that's more important than making sure your kid gets on the bus and like gets his day started off well, man? We have so many parents that are so concerned with themselves, one, and the kids, two, and that's nonsense, man. I'm not saying I'm the perfect parent, man. I'm not. I'm far from. But you know what, man? My life is about my kids, and people that it's not drives me absolutely freaking crazy, man. Like, you can be a parent and still go out and still have a social life, man, but you can't do it all the time. You know, it's not like you're 19 anymore, and even if you are, your 19-year-old priorities need to and have to change, man. I don't want something to happen to this kid, man, but I also don't want to get into a fight with his stupid-ass parents because they don't ever even just watch this poor kid, man. And so, like, I call the kid a D-bag, but it's obviously, it's not that kid. It is obviously it's obviously his parents. I just ask that if you know a parent like that, you know, like if my brother was a parent like that, man, I'd say something to him. If you have the power to do that, you should, man, for the good of the kid. Period. End of story, man. That's it. That's all I got.
Hey, Donnie!